Hey, hello, it's Andrea. Happy Easter. Here's what I got. You want to see? Got a little peanut butter egg. And we have some Peeps. There's the Easter eggs. We didn't color them, but Bob hard-boiled them. They're kind of got a color on them because they got the Eggland's Best thing on it. The ham just came out of the oven, and see, I put cloves in it, so I have to take those out. And I poured some pineapple juice over it, and it was covered for part of the time with aluminum foil. So it's hot enough now and ready to eat. And look, this is what my sister and I call the belly button. I know, that's gross. And here's a dog. Look, here's a dog thinking he's going to get some Easter ham. You getting Easter ham? We're also having potatoes and broccoli. So I cut up about a third of the ham. And there's the au gratin potatoes. Or are they cheddar potatoes?
Au gratin potatoes.
We have pineapple and broccoli. And this is my plate so far, waiting for the potatoes to cool off. And I have a cloth napkin. I can only find 2 of our cloth napkins because we're running out of napkins. And okay, so it's about 11:30 p.m. right now. And thought I'd do the rest of the video. So earlier I was talking about cloth napkins. So when my kids were little, I bought these cloth napkins. That was in the 90s. I don't remember where I got them. It might have been Kmart. They're really thick. They're like, look how big it is. And it's well stitched and everything. And then one year my mom made me placemats and cloth napkins. So here's the ones my mom made. It's a little wrinkled, but she serged the edges. So this one's thinner. So you can see the difference. They're folded up. Anyway, yeah, when my kids were young, I didn't have the money to waste on buying paper napkins all the time. So every night we'd have a tablecloth. And we'd have all the napkins. We'd use the napkins all day, actually, unless it got too messy. Then put the whole thing in the washing machine and use it all again the next day. So I'm going to see if I can find some more of my napkins. I might have them in the upstairs linen closet. So a couple days ago, I was reminiscing with my friend Sue about when we were little kids at Easter. We used to make Easter bonnets. Easter bonnets, I use in quotations. We'd either make them out of paper plates or paper bags or newspaper, and we'd decorate them with different things, you know, whatever we found around the house. And one thing we used to put on them was tissue paper flowers. And tissue paper flowers were flowers we made out of actual tissues. Like, you would take the tissue and you would fold it accordion style, and then you'd fold it in half and you'd tie a pipe cleaner around it, right? And then you'd cut the folded side. And then you'd slowly, delicately pull the pieces apart. And sometimes you'd dip a little paint on it or whatever you had if you wanted to. And then so we'd make the Easter bonnets, and like you'd either use yarn or string or ribbon to tie it, and you would tie it down over your head, so it wasn't out like this. It was like pulled down. Maybe I'll make one sometime. And we just parade around the house. That was Easter activities when I was a kid. The other activity was my mom, like, we would decorate eggs, And then Easter morning, my mom would say, okay, it's time to find the eggs. She'd hide the eggs around the house or the apartment, whatever we were in. Hard-boiled eggs. And one year we didn't find all the eggs. So like a couple months later, we could smell where it was. Anyway, those are my precious Easter memories. So, what do you remember about Easter? I know that it was the one time a year where we'd either get a new dress, or my mom would make us a dress, or we'd get a dress hand-me-down from my cousins. And my cousins, we lived in suburban Philadelphia, right outside of Philadelphia. Like you could walk a couple blocks and you'd be in Philly. It basically looks like you're in a city. And my cousins lived out in the countryside in another state. So we'd get these really pretty dresses, but they didn't really... We got picked on a little bit, let's just say. I didn't care because I don't really care what anybody thinks. But, you know, it was nice to have a little dress, you know. Have a little dress. Another thing I was talking about, I forget who I was telling this to. It might have been one of my kids. When I was a kid, we didn't have rain boots, okay? So when it was raining, we would take bread bags and we'd put them over our socks. And we'd gather them around, we'd kind of tape it up a little bit. And then we'd put our shoes on over that. And then when we'd get to school, depending on how we felt about it, we'd either take them off and put them on later, or we'd leave them on all day. If we left them on all day, you'd be sweating. But there was enough kids in our school that didn't have... There were enough other kids in our school that were wearing bread bags that we didn't care. We would take them off and just, you know, put them on the side of our desk or whatever. There would be little bars at the bottom of the desk where the legs are, and that's where you would hang your... This is in the 70s and 80s. That's where you would hang your bread bag socks for when it was raining. Yeah. Yes, boys and girls. Anyway, those are my memories for today. So, like all of you, I'm sure our Easter was different than usual. We usually Bobby and Dave stop by at some point, but everybody is practicing social distancing and all that. But Bobby had to work today. He works in a convenience store, so anyway. I did get to talk to him on the phone, though. He was in a good mood, so that's good. But I hope you're all having a good weekend and a happy Easter, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.